Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me on this early morning hump day, Wednesday. Tonight, I will be backtracking the case of the missing Cal City brothers out of California City, California, and I want to discuss what have we missed, what have we overlooked in this case. And one of those things that I think that was missed and overlooked was the fact that none of the children that were left behind were placed with either grandparents, to our knowledge. And no one has seen those said children with the grandparents. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Thank you. So that's something I've never discussed in depth with you guys on this channel since bringing the story of the children missing. And I think we need to discuss why those said children were never placed with Wanda West and her husband, nor Jacqueline's mother, parents, whomever they are. And to this day, there is much speculation by some parties to whom her mom is. And I have no idea who her mom is or her father. If her parents even live here in the United States, I don't know. But I think it's very interesting that we never discuss why the children were never placed with Wanda and her husband. And I think we know why, because there's some smoke in the city. There is a reason why those children were never placed with the West family or Jacqueline's biological family and or whomever raised her. And that is a very damning situation, because what you have to ask yourself is, next of kin is always the first people that DHS CPS goes to see if they can take in the children. And naturally, they will do a background check to make sure that these said parties are fit. So what we have to ask ourselves is, if these people actually care for the children, then naturally they would volunteer to take the children in. So that's first and foremost. 2, if they didn't volunteer, why? And 3, if they volunteered, did they not pass what needed to be passed in order to get the children? Or was it a sound decision for the CPS said, no, we're not letting these children go to any biological family members because we have reason to believe these said parties have done something to these children and we don't want them to have access to the kids. And we have never sat on this channel and discussed that possibly there's always been something against those two parties. And that is the reason why none of the biological family of Jacqueline and Giselle family members have those said kids. And why is that? Thanks for joining me. Yes, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Jackie. Hello, everybody. Vala, how you doing? Hello, Daring. Thank you so much. That's okay, honey. The Queen's trying to get some strength to do this live, so thank you all so very much. I've been very tired lately. Yes, they do. I raised my niece. Okay. Well, that's why I'm saying CPS usually will ask the said parent, is there somebody that we can place your children with? That's the first question they're going to ask once they remove a child. And then it's up to you to say, well, I have a mother, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a grandmother. And then they go to that said person. And naturally, I'm sure, they'll place them there immediately, but I'm sure then thereafter they will, do a check to make sure they are fit. I'm assuming, could be wrong, but I'm just saying, don't you find it strange in this case that none of the biological family have the children of Jacqueline and Giselle? Because with all the hunting around and chasing these people around on skateboards and tricycles and bicycles, yeah, I said that. Don't you think somebody would have seen those kids with those said family members by now? The children that were taken out of their custody? I'm speaking of the children that were taken out of their custody. Wouldn't by now we have seen those children going or coming with the said grandparents, going in and out of the house, playing outside, especially with all the hoopla of being at the West House and standing outside the gate and looking at the side of the fence and looking in the backyard? Wouldn't you have seen some children going or coming, playing, going in and out of the house? Same thing with Jacqueline's mom. At some point, wouldn't you have seen, since people were watching her, wouldn't someone have seen her have the other 4 kids? And I can't see a caring grandparent wanting all 4 children, be it bio or foster children, to be separated. That is the said subject matter tonight. Please hit the link if you'd like to join the discussion. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, well, that's how it always is. Daring. Queen's used to that, baby. Thank you, Crystal. Thanks for joining me. Just join. Is there something new going on? I had to unsubscribe from other people. Don't worry about it. No, there's nothing new. And I don't have any new information because I don't have any way to find out anything new as far as the missing boys. So I just wait for the news to come by, the real news. That is the only way I can bring you said information. Thank you, Tina. Thank you all for joining me. So that's the subject. That's what I wanted to discuss tonight. That's the one thing we have not truly discussed on the channel is why are those children that were taken out of the custody of Trezell and Jacqueline, why does Wanda and her husband not have them? Why does the mother of Jacqueline, whomever she may be, if she's even around? See, we don't even really know that. With all this duck, duck, goose and hunting around, chasing people and banging on doors, do we even know that her mother is around in the area? I mean, it's something to ponder. Does she have a relationship with her mom that she'd want to take in her 4 children, her remaining children? See, those are things nobody talked about. So busy trying to figure out who her mama is. Hell, did it ever occur to you that maybe whomever her mama is, guardian, didn't want her kids? Didn't have room for her children? See, sometimes you all don't ask the pertinent questions. You're too busy looking for a story, see, a like and a view, but you're not assessing what is real. That sometimes people don't want your kids. Yeah, they don't. All right, where there's smoke, there is fire. Hello, Kelbo. No, nothing new, dear. Maybe Ellie didn't want J&T having access or members a chance because they feel foul play. Yes, Goose, that's the point of this video. They didn't give a damn about their bio children. I think that's the point of this video is, don't you find it strange that DHS, CPS did not place the children with the West family, the grandmother, husband, and or Jacqueline's family, sister, cousin, somebody? Because by now that would have gotten out. Somebody would have told, hey, I've seen those kids. Even if they didn't really want to give a full paragraph to a YouTuber, somebody would have dropped a dime that they've seen those 4 children with somebody's family member. Because there's no way I'm going to sit here and believe they would sit in a house with 4 kids and never go outside, never take the children outside, never take them to the doctor, never take them to a ball game, McDonald's, the mall, something. There's no way. Want to be spying, the least they can do is hit even if that's what you prefer, hit one of them, though they both eagle view. Okay, Darren. Well, baby, we don't worry about that. So y'all watch the language in the chat. Yes. I'm not concerned with that, honey. Queen got more important things on her mind right now. Queen's not worried about nothing pertaining to YT. You can believe that. Not nothing. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129, Cash App, and yes, all super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you all so much for your support, and thanks for joining me tonight. CPS will not let me also take my nephew because I did not have enough bedrooms. Okay, Karen. So that's what I'm saying. Also, did the people have enough space for the children? See, all those things are pertinent in taking in children. As I watched someone speak on Doug's channel last night, that you have to have adequate bedrooms depending on the age of the children, said bedroom paraphernalia for the children. So that's what I'm saying. What are we missing? Has there been smoke all along? Because as I said, everyone has decided whom they think is guilty, whom they think is involved. But I always said to you all that the writing is on the wall. It's always been there. The answer has always been in front of us. And there it was, sitting in front of us. It is too peculiar that neither family member, bio family member of Jacqueline or Trezell has possession of the remaining children. Why? The state makes the decision. Chief Walker made that clear. Cal City Chief. We do not make the decision to remove children from a home. It is up to the state to make that decision. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that so much. God bless you, honey. My unbiased coverage. Thanks for all you do. Sending love and encouragement. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you, honey. Thank you so much. That's okay. So see, thank you, Crystal. Thank you so much. So that's my point, is that there's always been smoke from the beginning. Chief Walker made that clear. That's why I always said to you all, is that some of you pick and chose what you want from this storyline. Although the storyline has been very vague from the beginning because the parents were aloof. They were not willing participants in finding the children, talking about the children to the public. So you formed your opinion that they had something to do with the disappearance of the children. Then you have Chief Walker not being able to give you much information as to not taint the case and or give the suspects knowledge that he knows that they're involved, whomever they may be. And that makes sense. And he made that clear so that the Bakersfield Police Department chief, who now is handling the case, can't tell you if I think Pookie, Ray, Susie Mae did it, because then now they'll know. And if I ain't got nothing on them yet, do I want them to know I'm watching them? I'm looking at everything? Of course not. But if you're guilty of a crime, you know damn well they watching you. And they looking at everything you're doing and everything that you're saying and everybody that you talk to and every device you get upon, throw away. They on top of that. Believe that. And that's the whole point of why they can't say anything. And we get distracted and upset and befuddled and all that nonsense because we want to know something. But maybe the something we want to know, they can't tell us, because then it would tell the guilty parties, hey, we're on to you. We've been on to you. We've been watching you the whole damn time. And we know you have something to do with these kids missing. So that's why they can't tell us anything. And they drop little hints here and there. Hello, how you doing? Hello, Doug, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. So that's where I'm at tonight. It's why those children were never placed with Wanda and her husband. I think his name is Philip, if I'm not mistaken. So why were these children not placed there? You see, I've said this, and I'm going to say it now again. The writing is on the wall. There is smoke in the city. Because we are now in the month of April, approaching the middle of April. And there hasn't been one solid lead to say something to the public by officials. And you have to admit, this is strange as hell. It's peculiar, it's strange, and it's outright sickening. Because one will have to ask himself or herself, where the hell are these children? Are they alive or are they deceased? Were they harmed? Were they sold? What is it? And I always say start at the beginning, because the beginning is what's going to tell the story. So much hype, so much rhetoric about these kids, the parents, the grandparents, who's somebody's real mama. I ain't never seen folks want to know who somebody's real mama is so terribly. And things I've noticed in watching other things on this YT have made me laugh. Because you see, I'm going to say it again. What you've been looking for has been there all along. Such as, you keep banging on my door asking me questions about who I am. I'm going to give you what you want. Y'all know that's Queen's favorite statement. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you came looking for. And then I'm going to say, maybe I am who you think I am. You think I'm the mama of Jacqueline? Maybe I am. Maybe it's none of your business. Then maybe I'll turn on you because you keep bothering me. I'm going to give you what you want. I keep trying to tell you all that you don't know people. And if you go looking for things, you may just find what you're looking for. I keep telling you that game recognizes game. Yeah, I have to throw a little street talk in there because some of you like being in the street. So I'm going to give you what you want. You go looking for trouble, you'll find trouble. That's an old saying. Seek and ye shall find. So did you find what you were looking for? All up in that closet drawer, in that panty drawer, did you find what you were looking for? And you still don't know nothing. Don't you find that funny? That you looking and searching for somebody's mama, and you still don't know nothing. Interesting. Game recognize game. Stay woke. What you looking for been there all along. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion about the subject matter tonight. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Alton. How you doing, baby? Well, you know, it can't make sense, Dorothy, because when did wrongdoing ever make sense? It only makes sense to the people that's doing the wrong. It doesn't matter what the crime is. It doesn't matter what the motive is. That it only makes sense to the person who's perpetrating the crime, you see. It doesn't have to make sense to you. You trying to do right. You trying to live right. So you hear of a story of 2 children missing. Nobody can give you any information. You got all type of clowns jumping out of clown cars, wanting to be seen and heard. Then poof, disappear. Voila, magic. No show. Yeah. It can't make no sense. Because you see, it wasn't supposed to make sense in the beginning. Because you see, all this chaos came from the abyss. So how could it ever be right? Yeah, I'm going to say that. Because it's the spoken word. It's at the top, baby. Overdose, you can hit the link. You got to talk. You don't got to holler and scream to talk, do you? Well, why would a child? You don't want a child on here anyway. This isn't a place for a child. Here and there, I sure ain't. What are you talking about? Lord have mercy, y'all tripping now. What is you talking about? Your child gets upset. Well, she a child. I don't know anything, Alton. I haven't heard a word. I have no clue to what is going on in this case. That's the point of it, ain't it? It was never supposed to make any sense. I think some of you should have figured that out by now. Nothing was supposed to ever make any sense pertaining to these missing children. Never seen anything like it. Very odd and peculiar. Very odd and peculiar. There's no rhyme or reason behind none of it. And most of you had, okay, I got it. That's why, what you said, baby, that's why I believe the boys disappeared before December. Okay, Dorothy. I got the link, Goose. I preach to her every day. Okay. You're welcome, baby. Well, that's my thought process right now. Because everything that people have been talking about on the YT is just basically going around in circles, repeating, the same thing over and over because you don't have anything to actually talk about pertaining to this case. So sometimes maybe you have to go back into the book and start over from the beginning. But I've always said to people, with any story, it's the beginning is where the truth is. If you're willing to listen, if you're willing to watch and see. You see, sometimes it's true that what you're seeing ain't really what you're seeing. What you're hearing ain't what you're hearing. And we've done that in many cases. Like I said, when I covered the Camille McKinney case, many people thought the parents were involved. That's true. Because That daddy, if nobody else, made himself guilty. The things he did, Facebook junkie, always talking and rattling off, accusing everybody of this and this. And as someone said to me recently, someone who wrote an article pertaining to the story contacted me and said, why would a father need a GoFundMe page? Day one, child was missing. And then we later find out the child was dead when he was doing the GoFundMe page. But yet he was saying the baby's all right. I know my baby's all right. So we have to ask ourselves, that makes a valid point. How can you tell the public, I know my baby's all right, when all along she was dead inside of a dumpster? So that made people think, hell, when she was found days later, week or so later, hell, did you know something? Because how are you telling people on Facebook my baby all right, but then she's found suffocated in a dumpster? So daddy, did you know something? And one of my fans to this day believes that Dominic McKinney aided the killers kidnapping his kid and killing his kid. There's some of you who still believe that. And I have one fan who stays on all my old videos of Camille McKinney. All my old videos. Which mind you got a queen, many views. No clout chasing needed. Amen. So, did we miss something there? Those two never been arrested, parents of Cupcake. So I think back to that case, and with this case, because they appeared guilty to some form of fashion, perhaps to many people. But yet, when the two suspects were arrested, Tarika turned on Patrick, he turned on her, two different versions of what happened to the little girl that night, but no biological parents arrested. Do you see where I'm going with this story? So you see how hype and rhetoric and stuff that came out of the baby daddy's mouth led us to think that he did something. He was in cahoots with these people, knew these people. But you see, he's never been arrested, and it is now over a year later. The parents have never been indicted for murder. So then we go to this case and say, did we miss something? Is there something with these people? Could it be? Could we have made a mistake? Could we have made a mistake? I wonder that, because I know I did think that about Camille's parents. I always thought the father could have been involved. But what I told my fans was, the day I find out he does not get arrested, I'll let it go. And I won't speak of him in a negative way, because I'm going to let the evidence speak for itself. And until Birmingham police brought forth an indictment for accessory to murder, orchestrating the murder, I let it ride. So now on this case here, two missing baby boys out of Cal City, I have to ask myself, what am I missing? Are these parents involved? Or is there something else going on? But then I still go back to the beginning of the story of how it looks. And I have to tell myself sometimes that how it looks may not be what it is. But I do focus on now the fact that these children never went to their parents. And we cannot dismiss that factor. Matter of fact, that's a weighing factor that makes these parents look like they are guilty. Because why would the state not give these grandparents or a cousin, auntie, uncle, somebody temporary custody? That's the discussion tonight. How you doing, Kwan? How you doing, baby? I would give anything to have another child. I wish I could afford to adopt. I'd have a house full of kids. Okay. I hear you, Overdose. Yes. It's a very wicked situation. Kawana, what are you saying? He said the body was going to be found where he said it was going to be. Honey, Dominic said so much, who could keep up? My head was hurting with that case. Jesus, well. My plan is to revisit that case because as you see with COVID, court has been hauled off, put off. So a lot of people have not gone before a panel of 12 members of a jury because of COVID. But there's somebody I want to bring to the panel who wrote an article on this story, a young man, and I'd like for him to give his opinion on the case because he reached out to me, and I'd like to have his input, and we're going to backtrack this case from the beginning, the cupcake case. And I'm going to do it just the way I'm doing this one. What did we miss? Have we been hoodwinked and bamboozled? Are there other parties involved, but they just haven't been indicted? Was there some slickery going on, and it was some thought put into somebody else not getting caught? Who knows? See, you never know. Because we've learned in certain cases, there are other parties involved, and people don't tell on them. But I can't see going down for anybody, period. Be it life, be it the death penalty. I'm not taking that charge by myself. It ain't about that, baby. It's folks being nosy. Let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Hello? Hello?
Sorry, there's a bit of a delay.
Okay, well, you won't be able to talk if it's a delay then.
I think it's maybe better now. We'll see. If not, I'll end up hanging up. But
yes,
I think that
okay, Kiwana. Go ahead.
Okay. I think that they were taken out of the family because of the thinking that they were that the kids were a big part of trying to figure out the truth on when the kids were last there.
Mm-hmm. Goose?
Yeah, can you hear an echo?
It sounds like it's some static or something in your conversation. I'm not sure, sweetie.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll click out and I'll try to switch onto an iPad or something and see if that works better.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Latasha Locke. Okay. Yes, it's a very strange case. Eventually, they'll get sick of seeing me asking them to hit the thumbs up. Well, just don't say it no more. You don't have to do that, baby. Queen ain't worried about none of that. Trust me. I have more important things on my mind than somebody hitting the like button. It doesn't matter to me, sweetheart. But thank you anyway for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you so kindly. Hit the link. You want to voice your opinion on why you think the children were not placed with Wanda and her husband, Philip, and Jacqueline's parents, whomever they are, relatives, whomever they are, why those children were not placed, the remaining children. So I find it very interesting that none of those people are raising those kids. Temporarily, let's say. Very interesting. Yes, baby, I can. I'm sorry. I had that other phone over here. I didn't see it. Sorry about that, baby. Hold on. Ah! You didn't have to do that. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. That's my girl. I love you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. God bless you. Know how to keep a queen on her toes. Yes, please hit the link. Crystal, would you like to give your opinion on the said information? Because Goose is having problems right now. Coming up. She's having some issues. So, yeah, I will be talking about Cupcake here shortly. I have to get the person that wrote the article. We were supposed to meet up last weekend, but I had a lot of stuff going on at the time, so I wasn't able to reach out to him. But I want him to come up on the panel so he can give his commentary on what he thinks happened and who all he thinks is actually involved in the death of Camille McKinney. If I was to fall off, my mom will take care of my daughter, but my strength won't let me fall off. Okay. Well, anything can still happen to a person. You can get sick. or somebody needs to take care of your child. You know, anything can happen. You can go in the hospital, go into surgery, you can go into a coma. I mean, anything can happen. That's why they tell you to do, you know, a living will, because you don't know what can happen to you when you have children. What do you say? Couldn't be my family. They'll go to war. Alton Harris says, stop, Queen. Stop what, Alton? What is it I should be stopping? Please explain. Oh, I mean, my mom, my grown son would take over. Okay. Mobs outside the homes of parents and grandparents on father's side. Grandparents on mother's side don't have enough room. Parents still don't know what happened to the boys. Yes, interesting. No one took over the bio kids. Well, like I said, there's a reason why the state didn't place those kids with Wanda and Philip. You all ain't tried to figure out why. I'll wait. And the issue with Jacqueline's parents, whoever the hell they are, everybody's so concerned with who her mama is. Her mama probably looking at y'all dead in y'all face right now. I keep telling y'all to stay woke. You don't pay attention to what's obvious. Well, I'm not trying to find out, Karen. I just think that it's interesting that in this storyline, everybody's running around like ducks and goose and without heads and shit. But maybe it ain't for you to find out. Did it ever occur to anybody that there's some things you're never going to know? And that's what's so interesting about this story, is that nobody knows no more than they did from the day those people stood in front of the news and said their children were missing. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. We've bypassed Lifetime and Netflix with this case. This is a whole nother level. This is just, it's strange to me. Very, very strange. Yeah, a lot of family members. Well, possibly they weren't worth anything. Possibly. It's very strange to me. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary on this subject matter. Why were these children not placed with the grandparents? It's strange to me. Very, very strange. Hello, Lakeisha. How you doing? And we never talked about that on this channel. We talked around every other subject matter pertaining to these people, how they look, how they act, their demeanor, their this, their that. Bio family, bio mom of the children, you know, all type of shenanigans we've talked about pertaining to these kids, but we never just really sat and said to ourselves, you know, hey, let's start at the beginning. Let's backtrack. Because that should have been a subject I should have brought months ago. Why were the kids not placed with Wanda and Philip West or Jacqueline's mother, guardian, family members, whomever? You all don't find that strange? Threats being made to the West and turned over to the police. They would need a search warrant to collect the threats if needed for evidence. What are you saying, sweet one? I don't understand what you're saying. House too small and nasty. Oh, Don D, behave. Yes, Dorothy. Huge red flag. Amen. That's my point. They wanted them away from family. Daisy. Okay. Right. That's the point of my video. Smoke, smoke, smoke in the city. There has always been smoke. Too many scammers, politics, all will turn everyone's head like now. It could be anything up the system. I don't want to deal with skipping evidence. Who knows? Grimy world. Okay. You think threats happen, so that's why they gave children over? I don't understand that comment. I think the West have been receiving threats, and it's too dangerous to have the kids with them. Well, see, a sweet one, that doesn't really matter, because you're not listening to what I'm saying. I said start at the beginning of the story, before there were any threats, before there was any of this gossip on YouTube. The children were taken away immediately, before there was any rhetoric about anybody. Before there was any rhetoric, gossip, they were immediately taken away. Why? There were no threats in the beginning. We didn't even know of any threats. We didn't know of anybody hanging around the house. They hadn't even got to that point yet. Why were the children not placed with Wanda and Philip? Point blank. There could be a criminal element that was discovered during the background check. Something. That's the point I'm trying to make. Before people jumped off, started making all these videos, and who shot JR and Sue Ellen, from the beginning, the kids were taken out of the house. This is before you knew of a video of them allegedly getting in there with only 4 children, before there were searches, before there was any YT gossip. The kids were removed. Why? Well, I want the boys found, but all of these street private investigators knocking on doors are becoming too deep and too dangerous. Okay. We don't know that they didn't have any threats sent to them prior to the 23rd. That would make them decide to put the kids in protection. I don't know. Well, sweet one. So you don't think that the police and FBI would want to reveal that to the public? That the children's lives were in danger and that's why they went missing? Because that's a new one. I never heard that. Crystal, hit the link. I believe the cops and FBI knows the adoptive parents know why how boys disappeared, why they never got there. Okay. Bio kids, including Jackie Prince. Yes. Okay. 6 kids, 2 gone, 2 foster, 2 by, 2 damn many kids was around them. Yes. The kids, what'd you say? They give kids to anyone that's, I said, grimy, who knows, like you said, they were moving, now they're missing. Okay. I don't think they would give that out. No. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out a possibility. I'm just weighing everything. Those, like I said. Turn your background down, baby.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Vala says, because I believe that Walker had extraneous knowledge about the family from the get-go. What you mean, Vala? Go ahead, Crystal.
Yeah, I find it awfully strange. But you know what? I was also thinking, since they've been in the foster care system, right? Because they're in the system
Already.
Yeah. So have they even been able to visit the kids? You know, like what do you call it?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Supervised visits, I wonder.
Okay, Darren, I got it. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Darren. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Go ahead, Crystal. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was just saying, well, once you said that, because I really haven't thought about that. I don't know why, but I was also thinking, have they went to go see the kids like on a protective, what do you call, not protective, but what do you call it? Supervised visits.
Mm-hmm.
Since they've
So
been
you're wondering if they had supervised visits with the children.
Yeah, yeah, because if they haven't been placed with any of the family members on either side, have they at least had visitation?
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, Sweet One, I don't know what's going on with Sweet One. She's thinking perhaps they got threats beforehand, and that's why the 911 call hasn't been released. I don't know. Do you think of that? You think they would? Let me ask you. Do you think they received threats before the children went missing?
I don't think so, no, because I think it would have been more said.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk a lot. Chief Walker didn't. I just think.
I think it would have been more said.
Maybe they were being threatened by the children going missing, and the West told the police. Okay, Andrew's saying the same thing. Okay. Yes, Jacqueline and Giselle did get visits with their kids, and it is supervised. Okay, Dorothy, how you know that? Hit the link, Dorothy. I want to hear this.
I want to hear it too.
Everybody got information that don't nobody else got. So please tell me how you know they have visits with their children, period. Supervised visits, please. Enlighten the queen. Okay, overdose. Why you keep saying they were scared? Scared of what? Scared of whom? I'm waiting. They have 4 months to get their kids back. Well, we're at that stage already.
Yeah, it's already going to be 4. It's already going to be 4 months on the 22nd, right?
Well, it's the 21st. They went missing. December,
Mm-hmm.
January, February, March, April. So April 21st will be 4 months the children been gone. And we're already what? The 14th.
Yeah, today's the 13th. Well, yeah.
So the West are even faking being scared of the searchers. Well, I keep trying to tell you, game recognized game. I tell y'all, stay woke. Goose says, Dorothy Jordan, please call in. I don't believe that's true. Yeah, I don't want to hear any YT gossip. So if you want to say something, please just hit the link. Because right now, that's all we're hearing is he said, she said, they did this, they ain't did this, they're visiting, they ain't visiting. I mean, in the end, nobody has formally came forward to tell you anything about this case. Who is visiting whom? Why the grandparents don't have them? Why the children are with other relatives? No other relatives has come forward to speak on behalf or against these people. I keep telling y'all to stay woke. Everything is in the beginning of this story. Why? But what do I always say? Why not? Every year from what I read from the CPS site, lots of things in the handbook for parents. So then right there with the whole get their kids back doesn't sound like they gave their children up. Okay. I'm trying to understand what Goose is saying here.
Is she trying to say that they have?
I don't understand what she's saying. No, I do not. I think they're with the state. Maybe that's just a fancy word of saying they're in the state's care, foster care, protective custody. I do not believe they're under no FBI super watch in no padded room and all of those. No, I believe they are in foster care. I think protective custody is just a pretty word for foster care. 3 to 4 months is as soon as you can get the kids back, not the deadline. Well, Wanda said that they put them on protective. Well, who is Wanda? Nobody. Wanda know damn well them kids not with the FBI. Come on now. Makes no sense. They will not release the 911 call if it doesn't match up with the events of that moment. Okay. Well, I don't know, Lisa. We're just asking questions right now. It's just very odd, this case. Months in, we don't have nothing. Whatever the police have, they're not revealing it. Let's just put it like that. They may have something, but they are not telling the public. As to not trample the investigation. So, whoo, yes, those kids are in foster care. No kids in foster care. I don't know what Wanda talking about. Yes, thank you all for joining. If you want to hit the link, Crystal, can you drop the link, baby?
Yeah. Did it not come up?
Very strange. Very, very strange. Very strange behavior. All these people involved never seen anything like it. It's just.
And for it to be going on 4 months.
Yeah, that's the kicker, man. It's just getting worse and worse by the moment. My point is that it doesn't make sense with what that other person said in the chat about getting their kids back in 4 months. Why do you need to get them back if you gave them up? I see. Okay, if you gave them up. Okay. Well, I'm talking about the 4 other children, the 2 bio and the 2 foster kids. That's what I'm talking about. Why were those children not placed with biological family?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you find that strange? I'm all for them not telling us anything if they come back with a solid case. Well, I get that. I'm just saying it's months later. It's just strange. You don't have anything, nothing to say.
Mm-hmm. Is this not? See. 83. I would like to see what
Did you
if
see that?
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Ting. Yeah.
Mm.
They can't put them with family when family members are missing and everyone is suspect. Okay. Well, all right. In the letter from Wanda, she said they gave them to protective custody. That doesn't make sense that they need to do anything to get them back if they were being protected. Yeah. Okay, I got what you're saying. They have to be cleared by police, and police still have everyone as suspect. I got your point, Goose, now. So, Goose, you're making a valid point. If indeed, right, you put them in protective custody, why would you want them back if it was a matter of them being threatened or in danger? So I get that. More like they're in protective custody to protect them from the parents and actually get the truth out of them. They need to feel safe in order for them to speak the truth. Okay. I got you. What do you think about that, Crystal?
I
That she made a good point. I had to think about what she was trying to say, Goose. It's that why are you asking it? Because I'm jogging my memory back to what she's saying. When
Mm-hmm.
you were saying that in the letter, it's like, oh, we want to get the kids back, blah, blah, blah. But like she said, if you're the one to state now that the kids are in protective custody, why you want them back if it's an issue of their safety?
Mm-hmm.
So you just contradicted yourself.
Right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's true. Yeah.
Very, very. That's why I said sometimes you have to think about what people are saying. Because sometimes, like I said, you miss things that they've said. And that's a point right there that we didn't even think about.
Yeah.
Her saying that, wanting them back and blah, blah, blah. Why would you want them back if now you're saying they're with the FBI? They're in protective custody of the FBI. Well, then you'd want them to stay there, right?
Right.
Right.
Yep. You wouldn't be trying to get them back. Yep, that's right.
Right. Right. Indeed. Thank you, Goose, for that. Thank you. Thank you. The kids have already talked to professionals, and if there was anything, charges will be filed on the parents. So far, no charges. Well, sweet one, how do you know? Maybe you know something we don't know. Enlighten us.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're saying no charges were filed, but their own parents don't have the kids. So what?
Yeah. And it seemed to me that they would have given the kids to somebody in the family
Mm-hmm.
while they're still investigating or whatever.
Right.
They haven't.
Right. Not one, not a cousin, aunt, uncle, nobody.
Yeah. So
That's very peculiar.
that to me is saying, and then Chief Walker was saying, well, it's all up to the CPS or whatever
Yeah,
he
they
said.
make the decision to remove the children.
Right. So there must be there has to be something in there. They're just not letting us know,
Mm-hmm.
but they feel something or they know something that,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
don't
why I
know
feel
that
like
in regards to charges. The kids could have said they haven't seen the kids since last Christmas or something. So the PD.
mm-hmm.
Okay, why did I miss what she said that? Are trying to trace things from back then and figure things out. Sometimes it takes kids more time to really give details, or could have gave a little but need more details. It's procedure of an intake children to undergo assessment in regards to their home life. If the kids told anything bad, then charges would be pending on the parents.
But I find it interesting about what you were saying, how you say you went back to the cupcake case,
Mm-hmm.
and neither of those parents have been arrested.
No, and I don't care what anybody says. April Thomas should have been brought up on child neglect because that child was out there for hours playing. She had wet herself, went back inside of a house. Somebody changed her, or she changed herself. She came back outside and played again at a party where she was not invited. Let me make that clear. The person who held the party said that on Facebook. I never invited she or her brother to my child's birthday party. I didn't know them. I didn't know any of the people there. I had just moved there.
Wow.
And we all got the inkling, some of us, that Dominic was involved because, okay, Don, good night. Because the stuff he was saying on Facebook, night one, the first day he went live, he's talking about ransom money and all this. So one would have to ask themselves, who the hell were you speaking of? Who was the person that was ransoming the child off? Because we now know the child was dead. Was dead already in the dumpster. So who were you speaking of? Who is the person that called you for ransom? That's first. Two, why do you have a GoFundMe page for a baby that we now know was already dead? Why did you have several GoFundMe pages? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then when people kept asking you, well, who are you speaking of? Are you speaking of your baby's mother, April, or are you talking about Derica? Well, we know Derica couldn't have been the one to call from the jail, because naturally, when you first go to jail, you're not going to have assets to set up a card, to receive calls, to make calls, correct?
Right.
So that leaves your baby's mother.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Or he was lying. Any, many, money, mo.
Mm-hmm. And that's been a year. This is 4 months.
Yeah, that's October 19th when all this mess went down.
Wow. I don't know. I kind of think
the kids have to feel safe to speak. It will take time for them, depending on what they say. PD could be investigating the timeline, the electronics pings, like the Vallow case. Okay, yes, she just left near strangers. Like, really? Yes. Home life may not be the same for all 6 kids. Who's to say they were all treated separate? Thank you, Fern Pear. Amen. Because we know this in a household, that your version is different than my version in a house. All children are not treated the same. We've heard the stories of people raised in the same house, and they do not have the same recollection of how one was treated. Thank you for saying that. Amen. The police could wait to file lesser charges in the hopes of getting better evidence for a major crime. It takes time for both finding evidence and for kids to talk the police to give an update. If you say so. But I'm glad Fern made that assessment, because that's so true. Everybody's not treated the same in a household.
That's true.
So what you have to say about how you were treated by your parents, that doesn't mean that actually happened with the other children.
Right.
Yes, thank you, Crystal. Yes, hit the like button, share, subscribe. I think people get that distorted about how things look and appear. People, children are dolled up. They look nice. They have on nice clothes. But it doesn't mean that they like their kids. Sometimes we get things misconstrued. We think their kids are supposed to be bummy looking, runny nose, hair all over their heads to show, hey, they don't care anything about their kids. Well, guess what? They can doll their kids up and still be abusive to them.
Right.
You send them to fine schools, Catholic schools, private schools, and treat them like dogs. Stay woke. Don't assume anything because we don't know anything. If they cared about those babies, they would get off their butt and do something. Okay. Everyone was treated different in my house. We were all different people. Okay, sweet one, then you should know that then. If you all were treated different, then you should know what the point we're making is that does it really matter what those kids told? Because perhaps the ones that's talking are the older ones. Who's to say they weren't treated better? Who's to say they could have been treated poorly? I don't know. I have no idea. Goose asked Karen, who are you talking about? I guess she's talking about Jacqueline and Giselle getting up, being active. But that's the excuse they'll use too. They'll say, like Wanda, we felt for our safety. We were scared. We didn't want to be around the Bio family. They were this, they were that. That was what she's alluding to. They could have had the other kids treating them babies poorly. Yes, Jamie, because we don't know. That's the thing. We have no idea what was going on in this household with these two adults and their children. We don't even know when these babies actually got gone from their possession.
Yeah.
We don't even have a timeline of when they were gone.
Yep. That's the main thing, is finding that out. That's the main thing.
Karen, I guess she's talking about the adoptive parents, sweetheart.
She said AP or bio.
I thought we were talking about the adoptive parents. Yes, it is sad, Jamie. Oh, the police department. Okay. Well, my thing is this. There should not be any excuse to go out and look for your children if you actually care about your kids. And there is nothing that could be going on outside that would keep me from looking for my kids. So all this stuff y'all coming up with, threats and who said what, you don't have any evidence that anybody was threatened. See, that's the thing about all this gossip. You know nothing about these people. Nobody has brought forth anything about these people. So how could you think that they were threatened? We don't even know anything. Nobody has said anything. To this day, my step siblings that still live in my mom's house get treated differently, and all of my younger siblings have the same dad. Okay. They've been crooked from the jump. That's why it's hard to find a paper trail on the West family. Okay. I think what's key with the children's interviews is when they said they saw them last. Yes. Well, but that's the thing too about that, Goose. We're never going to know what the children told the authorities, of course, you know, when they actually saw them. Okay, Karen.
When did they?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby.
Do you know when they took did they take the kids the next day, or?
I think it was the next day.
Okay.
I think it was the next day. Because I think it was daytime when they took them. I just hope the police know a lot more than they are releasing to the public. I am praying for justice for these kids. Yes, you'd have to duct tape me down and handcuff me to keep me from searching for my children or my pet. Well, that's my point, is that no matter what some of you want to believe, what happened to the children or what you think happened with Jacqueline and Giselle and who you think threatened them or if they were threatened, that to me means nothing to me. I don't care if they were threatened by the Bio family or whatever accusations y'all think. That don't have nothing to do with you going out here looking for your damn kids. Because in the end, you don't have to walk side by side from some people who threaten you if they indeed threaten them. When you're in a search party, you don't have to walk side by side. You can walk yards away. You understand what I'm saying? And there's been too many people out there, that allow something to jump off. So that makes no sense to me. Just statements from West Family websites stated they received threats. Yeah, but that's after the fact. That's way after the situation when the children first went missing. We didn't hear about none of that stuff. It was a while before we heard any of that type of stuff. The FBI would have hauled anyone in making threats. Yes, I would hope so. Hey, James, thanks a lot. Hello from Tennessee. Amen. In the statement, it said 18 hours after boys went missing, the older kids were taken. And in the end, I found out at 54, I had a different dad. Wow, Karen, that's deep. No matter how we look at it or what the opinions are, they had it all planned out to report them missing on that exact day. Other kids were gone. It was dark, new to the air, etc. Well, David, I think that's what a lot of people thought. It was too convenient that your other kids were gone when you reported these children gone. It's very convenient. That's why I said, always go back to the beginning of the story. The truth is at the beginning of the story. The children could have told the PD a different time than December 21st. And that's why the PD started talking about a year prior. There's likely a very big reason for that to come out. Yes, because what you got to remember was something. Those other children that are the foster children are smaller. I don't know their exact ages, but we don't even know what they said or what the older children said. That's the thing. They haven't told us anything. Who's to say that all 4 children gave a different version when they last saw the children? Because you got to remember something about trying to make a child lie. You got to coach a kid to lie. Smaller the age, it will be hard for them to remember what to lie about. They're not going to be able to hold the lie as an older child will be able to. You know, you're talking about 6 and 7. By the time investigators get to those kids, could be 2 days later. You understand what I'm saying? 3 days later, they're not going to remember what you told them to lie about.
Yep, that's true.
Children are not going to remember. Yeah. Well, sweet one, I said the younger children. I said it would be easier for an older child to possibly lie and be coached. But a younger child, it would be hard for him or her to remember, especially if it was days before when you tried to coach them on what to say. And then days later, they're out of sight from their parents. It would just be easy for them to not remember their children. Hey, Dancing Queen. Oh, Lord, I'm getting annoyed.
But that is weird though. How the kids are still in the system, and if Wanda was so good, and the other side, everybody was just so good, kids wouldn't be in the system. They would be.
Yeah. Amen. I don't believe that. That's why I said that. That's why I said go back to the beginning of the story. Because they're smoking the story. No matter what you think of either parties involved, a lot of lightness, meaning that there's something negative with this family.
And it's strong.
Yeah,
it's
very
strong. They're not just gonna keep those kids if it's something that they barely got something on. I mean, if they know that it's not gonna stick, you know what I mean? They have something strong on them.
Yeah. Chase believes the children are 10, 8, 5, and 4. Well, we know the smallest ones are 3 and 4. So I don't know about the other one. Walker did say he did not tell Jack and Giselle to stay in and not search for the boys. Yes, Kwana, thanks for mentioning that. Well, see, that's the thing about a liar. He don't know that you're going to be told something different. So I'll tell you anything standing in front of the news because I'm not expecting you to know and find out that I'm lying.
That's right.
I mean, it's just common sense. I'll tell you any damn thing. Oh, they took my phone on this day. Oh, I couldn't produce no pictures. But then we found out you had your phones the whole day. They didn't take your phones till the next day. But you didn't know we were going to find that out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you all, go back to the beginning. You're the one reporting your children missing. So therefore, you're the one that's supposed to give the damn photos to the police. So there's no excuse to say they took my phone. Doesn't matter. You called the police. So you're the one that should be giving the pictures. Next day doesn't have anything to do with they came to your house to get the information. So you think they just sat there and looked at you and said, oh, well, we'll give you 24 hours to give us photos of your kids. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Stop this nonsense. I have an observation in one picture where the grandfather was with the two kids. One looked like a blonde hair. That's strange. Well, Lydia, if you're talking about where they was at the table, one of the children in the high chair, that's not one of the kids. That's not one of the missing boys. And in that said photo, the children are way smaller.
Yeah.
We're near 3 and 4. That was some other foster kid. The fact they didn't ever give any other pictures speaks volumes. Yes. And that's why I tell people, no matter what you've heard down the line, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, go back to the beginning, because it's the beginning of the story. It's where the evidence is. Day 1, you only gave older pictures of your children. 2, your children were never placed with your family. 3, you never searched. 4, you never brought forth any more pictures. 5, you refuse to speak to the news again about your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to what is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the obvious things that would make you look like you are complicit in the disappearance of your children, because you're showing you don't care. Now, like I said, down the road, you're hearing all this added stuff from people that's thinking that they were threatened. But like I said, that's somebody else's opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But my thing is, if you're going to bring that out, bring Queen some proof that they were threatened. Show me some proof where somebody, whomever they are, threatened Jacqueline and Trezell, and tell me why they were threatened.
Yeah, what was said?
Yeah, what was said? Why?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even if they were told to stay inside, what's the reason other family members were not there helping? Why wasn't Wanda, Jacqueline's mom, there? Yeah, I thought that was odd too, Fern. Very good observation. Where were the other family members? It is very odd when children go missing, you just have the parents standing there.
Yes.
And never nobody else comes forward along with these parents thereafter. See, this is why I keep saying everything starts at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think the children have been gone for a lot longer. There's nothing that actually proves they haven't been. Amen. Right. That we know of. Yes. Threat or no threat, I die for my babies. Yes. Yes. So it didn't matter about the bio family being there during the interview, whatever. That to me doesn't mean anything. Because like I said, I don't have no proof of nothing. So I can't say who said something, who looked at somebody a certain way. And who gives a damn how somebody looked? Hell, you ain't had the kids. Because if you was raising the kids, these two nimwits wouldn't be standing up here talking about your damn babies. Now don't get me crunk about that. I'm keeping it real. So who gives a damn about somebody mean mugging at a news interview? Hell, where were you? If y'all want to keep throwing that out there, that somebody was threatened,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't bother me none. He said, let our imaginations run wild. What if the kids were snatched, but the kidnappers took the wrong set of kids?
Who said that? Okay, that's a far-fetched one.
They was only money to AP. If they cared, they would be looking for them. Yes, Karen. I think all of those children live like on a tight ship, life on a tight ship. And if they swayed one way, they were put straight through fear. Yes, Jean, I think that too. The only reason they would have to feel threatened is because they knew they did something bad to them babies. Okay, Jamie. I thought I heard the kids said that 19 was the last time they saw the boys. Yes. Gidget. Hey, how you doing, baby? Well, the whole case is crazy. That's the whole point.
Amen.
And as I've said before, you can't expect anything good to have come out of the situation due to the fact how they were derived in the first place. That's neither here nor there. So they didn't come here right. So then they get placed into foster care, and then now they're missing. So the children they were doomed. And that's a sad thing to say about a human being, that they were doomed from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They were doomed. But I do believe that there's a reason why the state did not place the children with Wanda and her husband and Jacqueline's mother or guardian or relatives, whomever they may be, because they saw something at that house. And that is something that you all didn't think to realize either. You never talk about what was inside the house. You don't even know what was inside the house. You don't even know how the house looked.
Mm-hmm.
What was found in the house. See, that's another thing you all failed to realize. I'm an hour in, and I'm just now mentioning that. Did it ever occur to you that something wasn't proper inside of the home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did it occur to you that maybe the children looked a certain way?
Mm-hmm.
Their features weren't proper? Maybe they looked malnourished or looked like they had bruises or marks on them? Is it possible that they checked their clothes underneath their clothes to see how they look? You see, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the other kids went to family members. Nobody's actually confirmed that that's when they said they saw the little lass. Okay. So we don't even know what actually was seen at that house, inside that house, because that's never been revealed. Just like nothing has really been revealed in this case about the children. So we don't even know what the hell was seen the day the cops went there when they reported the children missing. How do you know they couldn't? They may not even have food in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm. Might
How do
have
you
been
know they had
dirty.
beds, covers?
Yep.
You have no idea. It's like you're telling you. Think about the beginning. Yes, what evidence was taken from the house? They didn't place them with extended family because they didn't want the AP to have any unsupervised visits. Okay, Jamie. The house seemed as if it was pretty empty, not facts, just assumption. Okay, Jamie. Right. We don't actually know where the kids are. They could be with extended family. We don't know who they are placed with. Why are they where they are sleeping? Well, sweet one, Chief Walker already told you they was put in protective custody, which is, like I said, a fancy word for foster care. I mean, did you miss something? I'm confused. And never has he ever alluded to the fact that they got placed elsewhere. Good night, Diane. Thanks for joining us. They would know if their little brothers moved to the new house. Yes. Well, as I state, we don't know much of anything because the police haven't told us anything. No friends, relatives have given the public any information pertaining to these people who raised these children for a short while, adopted them, information of the other children, anything about their living conditions, nothing. It's just odd to me. But maybe no one actually moved to the new house. True. Could be. It's a good point, Jamie. What do you think about that, Crystal? That they maybe
As
didn't move.
Huh?
Jamie says maybe they didn't move to the new house. That's an interesting synopsis. Because you all start spinning the web that they didn't never make. The kids never made it to Cal City. So what if? Yeah, they never moved. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I think that's a possibility because nobody said anything about seeing them move in, and that's just odd.
Right.
Nobody said anything. I mean, maybe they did and they're just not telling us. But I would think all this other stuff is coming out and everybody want to say something and spread rumors, but ain't nobody said, "Oh yeah, we seen them moving in with a moving van. They took in, moving in their furniture, none of that." So it's possible that they never.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle says, don't get me wrong. I believe the whole family is shady. However, I have recently gone through some CPS shenanigans myself. My goddaughter was taken from parents December 4th. Okay, you didn't finish her comment. The video, though, the other kids come from that house. Well, like I said, I always start at the beginning of a story because that's where the truth lies. It's the beginning. Whatever that truth is. And I just think it's strange that these people don't have the kids.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, well, we don't know where else they are. Well, Frontline, that's what we're saying. Why aren't these kids ever We don't even know why the kids weren't placed with the grandparents. Since some of you don't think that they have anything to do with it, or they would have been arrested by now. Okay, but then if that's the case, why they don't have them back, or why they weren't with the grandparents? So still, you're contradicting yourself.
Right. Yep.
If there was no one there and no one living there and nothing in there, why would police need to go back so many times with search warrants? Just because a person don't live in a house don't mean there's nothing in the house. Now, come on, sweet one, you starting to trip now for real. What does that mean? You can do anything you want at a house. You can leave evidence in a house. And you can especially do wrong in a house that you're not staying in and nobody knows about it. You're coming and going. It's just a suggestion. Somebody just put that out there. Emergency placement for her. I did not initially pass the home inspection. My backyard has big wood working tools and did not pass until I had a fence built to keep her out. Okay. I got you, honey. I hear you, honey. Well, that was just my thought process with this case. Just very strange that the grandparents initially didn't get the children, any grandparent or other relatives that we know of. And when they made it clear, the chief, that they would put in protective custody, he said what he said because obviously that's what happened. If he wanted to say that they went to Susie Mae's down in damn Louisiana, I think he would have said that. The children have been placed with extended family, out of town, Tokyo, wherever. What's the purpose of lying? Okay, if you ain't got no heat, what you need food for? Oops, I guess he gonna cook like the Cowboys. Girl, I don't know. They surely thought this through, so anything is possible. Yes, they went as far to keep the 2 residents. So, well, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what to think about these people. And that's why I keep telling you all that there's something suspicious in it anyway with these people, because you don't have anything that makes any sense about these people and the children. No one speaks up on behalf of them, against them, about the kids. You have to admit it's odd. Was that one gift Wacky Jackie had wrapped? Well, we don't even know about that. So you don't have any proof about the gifts either. The neighbor said he only saw T check the mail. We saw him check the mail constantly in other video. Perhaps use the address for benefit fraud. I don't know, Jennifer. Ellie knows there was foul play. Kids are in foster care for their protection. Yes, Gene. I'm sorry, but I'm limited on my text here, so my message is important. That's okay, Michelle. I really hope this gets solved. Yes, I do too. Unfortunately, they were making a lot of money from the children. Doug had a woman on the other day that talked about that when the children are adopted, they get $12,000 to $2,000. Yes, and they get more money if the child has a disability. I read you all that information months ago in my commentary when I brought you the benefit amount by the state of California. You can go back to my older videos pertaining to this case where I stipulate how much money foster parents get for foster children. Right. Nobody has anything to say about anyone. Why not? Right. It's just odd to me that if you like me, you're friends with me, we're cool, we're family, why can't you speak up on my behalf to say I'm a good parent, I'm this, I'm that? A neighbor, somebody from the corner store, something. Yeah, they come here all the time. They buy diapers, they buy this, they buy that, they buy formula, they buy soup, they buy something. Nobody has nothing good to say. Nobody has anything bad to say. Family members don't have anything to say. Friends don't have anything to say. Neighbors don't have anything to say. You don't find that odd from one damn city to the next, from Bakersfield to Cal City, now back. 4 months in, nobody has anything good to say on behalf of these 2 people. Nobody has anything to say about the children, seeing them, playing with them, going places with them, visiting them, keeping them. That's where the smoke is.
Mm-hmm.
Start at the beginning.
It's very, very odd.
Yes,
very
we know at least for now that the other 4 kids are safe. That is a blessing. They were committing fraud or more than just these kids. Their profession is fraud. Okay. Not even his mom. Right. But in order to buy a house, I think you need to have money in the bank and stable job. Yes, Lydia, yes. Look, the average person can't even go out here and buy a used car, a damn truck that costs $10,000, $15,000. You need credit for that. Now imagine trying to buy a house. I'll wait. They don't even want to give you a used car without credit and W-2 forms and money in the bank and a way to show that you can make the damn payments. So you think the bank is going to give you a whole house under $200,000? Because guess what? A mortgage costs more than a car note. I'll wait. Stay woke. Do we know if they were homeschooled? Well, that has been mentioned. But as I state to everybody, all the rumors you've heard pertaining to Jacqueline and Trezell West's lifestyle, nothing has been verified. Nothing. So where everybody's coming up with all this homeschooling, he's this, he's that, she's this, it has to be assumptions because nobody has spoken up on behalf or against these two people. Neither has spoken up on themselves to tell you how they were, what they did in school, what type of life they have, how they raised their children, the relationships they have with their parents, this and that. You've heard nothing. So everything you've been hearing on YT is assumptions. Just assumptions. Can't even pay cash for a house without proof where it came from, okay? Proof of employment, yes. Records, yes. That's my point. So that's why I said compare the two. Trying to buy your car. They want to know that you can pay the car note. And I don't care if the car is $6,000. They want to know that you can pay the note. Now factor in paying for a house. I'm not just going to give you no damn house for $197,000. You cannot make the note. You need to show me you have viable income to pay the note. So what are we to believe? They use their income from the children as income to purchase a house through a bank loan. And they said they have an ice cream business and the address was with, who said they had an ice cream business? They didn't tell you they had an ice cream business. I tell you, stay woke. Do they run checks for loans too? I don't know, honey. Crickets. So quiet, we hear crickets. Yes, 90% of what we think we know is rumor or assumption. That's my point. That nothing has been verified about Jacqueline and Trezell West. Not an ice cream, none of that. They didn't tell you they had an ice cream business, did they? They didn't tell you they had a daycare. They didn't tell you they homeschooled their children. Who told you that? Because they didn't tell you that. And I know I didn't tell you that. So you heard it from somebody else. Special needs children have to be taught by professionals. JW had 4 of the kids to school. It's all BS. They live incognito. Yes.
That's it. Wow. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. So with the younger kids, okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Where supposedly one of them was supposed to be deaf and this and that, yada yada, right?
Yeah.
Now somebody just said if they have a disability, this and that, a professional that okay, so where, if that's true, then where has that professional, why hasn't that professional came out or said anything that professional that was supposed to be teaching sign language, or if it wasn't that one person, did they not get another person for sign language?
Right.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Track made a point of saying we don't know what we don't know. And that's the point of this story. Yes, telephone, musical chairs. That's all this is. This has been a deviant game from day one because it's rare in the book of life that you don't have something that comes out about you, what you've been doing. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Something's gonna seep out. Somebody gonna tell something. They're gonna throw it out there. They're just gonna tell it. Right. There's no proof they had special needs. Well, we only got that from the BioMother Facebook page about the child
Right.
learning sign language. So many
Mhm.
people assumed that perhaps the child was deaf. As that lady said, Doug's child, that some people teach children sign language if they have some type of, uh, speech, speech impediment or a slow speech. But it's still a sign that possibly child could have had some type of speech issue. We don't know because that has not been verified. That was just an assumption made from the BioMother page that perhaps one of the children was deaf. Where's the BioMom or foster mom to give a statement on the condition of both babies? Yeah, I don't know. Probably somewhere smoking weed. I don't know. We don't know if he was deaf or just learning sign language, something that's very common. Yes, Goose, we get it. Don't think that happening having 6 kids 24/7 would have been too much. Okay. They're saying you're echoing, dear.
Oh,
Crystal.
I muted mine.
Okay. According to a neighbor, it was Philip that had the ice cream, not Trezelle. Okay, Fern. Thank you, honey. Miss Tori, yes. The lone lady talked about it when she was interviewed. Okay. Well, like I said, until you get one of these parties to tell you something, everything is speculation. So you don't know what this person had, owned, who had a business, this business, that business, what car. You don't know. You don't know. But that's my topic for tonight, is why the children weren't placed with Wanda West and or Jacqueline's immediate family. And I think the reason is because CPS saw something on their visit to Jacqueline Trezelle's home on December 21st, 2020. I think they saw something. I think they saw several somethings. And they made a sound decision to remove those last remaining children out of their care. And I think it's very interesting that we're now 4 months in. And to my knowledge, I haven't heard that the children were returned to the family members, Jacqueline and Trezelle, and that they were ever placed with their family, immediate family. And I feel like there is a reason for that. And I think it's because they found out something about these two during their initial visit to the home. And that's why the children were removed immediately. Two, they have not been returned to them. I don't think they have their children. Because the fact that I brought you documents showing that they were appearing in court, what was that, February, March? So that should tell you something. Why would they be going to family court? For what? It was family law versus Trezelle and Jacqueline West. So that should tell you something right there. Last chance. Yes, give your opinion. Yes, before I slide out, because I'm about to walk. Jean says nothing will ever talk. I believe that, Jean. The point is, AP nor the AP grandparents cared about nor loved or concerned about the boys. There was no concern. The AP grandparents would have had at least made an attempt to go searching. Yes, and that's my point before I check out here. That everything starts at the beginning of the story. You're entitled to your opinion of what you think happened to the kids, what you think was going on in their household. But as I state, there are a lot of pinpoints that were really never made on anybody's channel on YouTube. Nobody ever sat and thought about what was seen at the house when the children were reported missing. Excuse me. So you don't know what was in that house. You don't know what was missing in that house. You don't know what the hell the condition of inside the house was. What was in the refrigerator, not in the refrigerator. Adequate furniture, adequate beds, linen. You have no idea. You have no idea. And those state workers, whomever, made a sound decision to remove those children out of their care. And from what we've seen, not seen, they never replaced the children with Wanda and her husband, nor Jacqueline's parents, immediate family, whomever. And I think at some point, if they were placed in any one of their relatives' care, the chief would have admitted that by now. Somebody would have said the children are with family, extended family. How hard would that be to tell that? It's no big deal because they have not been. And I believe that all 4 children, remaining children, are still in foster care. And I believe the police, FBI, whomever, saw something with that family on that said night and made a decision to remove those kids and not give them to any immediate family members, because there is something suspicious and suspect with Jacqueline and Giselle West. And that's my opinion. And that is what I believe. That's exactly what I believe. They were likely trying to get the kids back before they snitched. Broken bones can cause trauma, and premature birth can cause a lot of short or long-term medical issues. Yes. And so that's how I feel about the situation. It's that something was seen in that house, and whether they stayed in the house temporarily, whether they never stayed there, whether the children never made it there, whether Jacqueline and Giselle stayed there part-time, full-time, whatever your assumptions are, something went on pertaining to those kids. And perhaps the children have been gone a long time, longer than 2 months, 3 months, 3 months, 6 months. Who's to say? We'll never know. Only the law officials will know all that information. But something is suspect with these people. And I really don't think that they were threatened by any outside sources, bio family. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, as I could be wrong with a lot of things pertaining to this case. Because as I state, this is a case where no one has come forward to give any information against these people or for them. And that is also suspect to me. Children taken away, no new photos ever given day one up until now, 4 months in. Grandparents going to ABC News with photos of the children even younger than the ones that Jacqueline and Giselle gave. Children not being placed with Wanda and her husband or any other immediate family on Jacqueline's side. No searches, no camaraderie for any interviews with the family and the children. No immediate family searching for the children when they did the searches. Never coming forward to the news to give any type of commentary about the children. Never standing side by side as an equal unit with Jacqueline and Giselle. Only going to a pay site to give commentary about kids. The brother stepping in, giving his 2 cents via pay site. It's all suspect to me. That is not the appropriate way to discuss missing children. Cops need kids because they're least likely to lie. Yes, I believe that. But that's my thing. Weigh everything from the beginning. What was done in the beginning is your evidence of, to me, some type of guilt. Now, as I state, I could be wrong about these two, but the way it looks, it's just, all of it's too suspect to me because there's too many fine points that are negative. Now, maybe they're just some parents that didn't give a damn and their kids were kidnapped. But at the moment, I weigh what I see. And I also weigh what I don't see and what I don't hear. And if I can't see any type of concern for a child, children in the beginning, and you are the said person reporting them missing, I'm not going to believe that you care for them. So that would lead me to believe that possibly you're the ones that got them gone and possibly harmed the children. I agree. They were not in harm's way. They chose to act like snakes in the grass. Amen. Okay, Crystal, thank you so much. Thank you, honey. She's got to go. So I'm going to check out of here too because my mod has to leave. But I want to thank you all for joining me. Like I said, this is a very interesting case. I think it's sad that we're 4 months in. There's no new information brought to the public. But as you see, nothing was ever really revealed in the beginning when the children were, well, when Chief Walker was handling the case, Cal City was handling the case. Now Bakersfield has the case. That chief is basically saying the same thing. It's a standstill as far as bringing information to the public, which I think is sad. But nonetheless, I understand they don't want to tank the investigation. But I always go back to the beginning of a story. That's just who I am. No matter what I hear down the line, he said, she said, those things don't mean anything because none of those things have been verified as far as gossip, who somebody's mama is, who got homeschooled, who's deaf, blah, 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 ice cream trucks, daycares. In the end, it's what's obvious. And then the flip side of that is sometimes what you think something is, it ain't. It ain't. Thank you, Moonlight. Thank you so much. Thank you, Air Force One, for joining late. But to me, something is suspect with these people, to me. And as I stated, it could be wrong. But I'm going back to the beginning. And in the beginning, there are too many negatives for me. There's too many negatives where it doesn't look like these people or the extended family cared about the children. And that's a problem for me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 by Cash App. And know that during all live super chats are welcome. I thank you all for joining me. I'm going to check out of here. You all have a safe day. God bless all of you. And I will be back with an update and a backtrack of the Camille McKinney case. I will be trying to bring that case back to light because the two defendants have yet to go to trial for her murder. And I will be doing that case sometime in the near future. Yes. It's not what's been said, it's what hasn't been said. Yes, Jamie. And that's how I feel. Thank you all for joining me. You all have a safe and wonderful day. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you.